Today, we uncover the real story behind Tiger Woods and his ex-wife, Ellen Nordegren. Their relationship took a public hit in 2009 when Tiger's infidelities made international news. While the world focused on his downfall, Ellen stayed mostly silent until now. After years of privacy and healing, she's opened up about the emotional toll it took on her. With Tiger moving forward in his personal life, and Ellen finding peace and happiness on her own, she finally felt ready to share her side of the story. Let's explore the truth behind the headlines, the untold struggles, and how both have moved on since those turbulent days. What does Ellen Nordegren do? The Swedish singer Ellen Nordegren was born on January 1st, 1980 in Stockholm. She had a twin sister named Josephine who was born just after her. They have an older brother named Axel as well. They were only 2 years old when their parents got a divorce, which was sad. Their family was split in two because of this. Ellen was always on the lookout for the next big thing as a child. She was active and interested. She did well in school and showed her athleticism when she played soccer. For a short time in the late 1990s, she went back to Sweden after living in Berlin with her father. A famous photographer saw her there and told everyone about it. How to become a model. It worked out well for Ellen and photographer Bingo Reimer. It helped start her job as a model, and she even did swimwear modeling for a well-known Swedish magazine. Ellen thought there was more to her than just modeling, though. Her dream was to work as a child counselor. She would quit modeling in the end and get other jobs to pay for going back to college. But when she moved to Stockholm and met a woman who needed a nanny, her plans changed quickly. The woman turned out to be married to golf star Jesper Parnevik from the U.S. When a chance came up, Ellen didn't pass it. She quit college and moved away from her job and family in Sweden. Trying to reach the American dream. Ellen knew what it was like to move to a different place. For a long time, she would have to leave her family and boyfriend behind, but she was still excited to start her new life in America. Ellen and her boyfriend at the time would break up because of the distance. She was single again, but not for long. The Parneviks were going to soon put her in touch with a friend. Turned out to be Tiger Woods, the master of golf. How to get married. Ellen didn't mind the Parneviks were trying to find her a new boyfriend. In fact, she didn't even think about Tiger Woods. She was happy with her life as it was and didn't want the attention that would come with meeting a famous person. At first, Ellen wasn't interested in Tiger's approaches. She finally agreed to go on a date with him. They liked each other, and after meeting for 2 years, they got engaged. A beautiful wedding. Most people could only dream of having a wedding like theirs. It wasn't even a wedding day. It was more like a wedding party for a whole week. They took a plane all the way to Barbados, an island in the Caribbean, with their friends and family. Tiger paid $2 million to book a whole hotel for all their guests. Tiger did everything he could to make their wedding like no other event in history. Getting the whole Sandy Lane resort booked was only the beginning. He also had 500 roses flown in. The wedding was very safe, and Tiger made sure that no pictures from the event would be shared with the public, and not even the ones that were taken by the cameras for fun. A life of luxury. Tiger and Ellen definitely had a great life. In those years, Tiger was at the top of his game, which meant he had plenty of cash to buy some great homes. Besides their beautiful waterfront home, they also owned other homes all over the country. There were homes in Jackson, Wyoming, and California in this group. Swedish people had one too, and it's not their fault if we could be the first ones to buy this house. The beginning of trouble. In 2006, Ellen had to deal with her own issue. She felt the pain and battle of being famous and getting attention all over the world. In Ireland, a magazine published sexy pictures of a woman they said was her. The magazine didn't have any proof to back up what they said. It was also said that the woman in the pictures wasn't Ellen. When it came to the controversial pictures, Ellen knew more than most people. She was now on her way to clear her name and show that the magazine's ideas were wrong. After talking to lawyers, they finally found out where the pictures came from and found that they were a former Playboy model. The couple sued the Irish magazine after getting proof. The magazine had to say sorry to everyone and pay Ellen almost $200,000, according to the court. Tiger has a child. After putting an end to all the bad stories, Ellen and Tiger put their family first. In 2007, Ellen gave birth to their first child, a girl named Sam Alexis Woods. And then 2 years later, they were blessed with a son named Charlie Axel Woods. They look like the perfect mother, father, daughter, and son. A big, happy nuclear family. Warning signs of trouble. Thanksgiving 2009 was the first time that things went wrong in their marriage. A few days before, Ellen read an online story that said that Tiger had an affair with Rachel Uchitel while he was in New York. Of course, Tiger refuted all the claims, but Ellen still didn't trust her husband. In the end, she looked through Tiger's phone and found strong proof that he had been cheating on her. In a rage, Ellen was sure that her husband had been cheating on her. Some reports said she even came to Tiger while holding a golf club. Tiger was able to get out, though. He jumped into his car and drove off. Too bad Tiger took some sleeping pills a few hours before what happened. He later got into a car and crashed because this made him very sleepy. He was found passed out next to a fire pump. Fortunately, he got only minor bruises. Money keeps secrets from getting out. Rachel Uchitel was eager to spill the beans and give her side of the story as soon as the event made the news. But she changed her mind the day before she was supposed to meet with the media. When everything was over, it came out that Tiger had paid Rachel $10,000 to keep quiet. He easily forgot to do the same thing for the other 120 affairs he admitted to having, which was bad for him. After that, more than 15 women said that they had slept with the golf idol for money. Having a second mistress. This is Jamie Grubbs, the next woman to say she slept with Tiger. It was quiet when they met for more than 2 years. It was her job to serve drinks, and she used to be a contestant on Total Academy. Jamie says she didn't know Tiger was married. We're not sure about what she said. Even though Tiger's a famous person, Jamie put out a message from Tiger to show that they were dating. Once more, a mistress. One more Jamie here. A woman in question is named Jamie Jungers. She modeled underwear in Las Vegas for a living. She told the press her story and even said that she got surgery with some of Tiger's money. Jamie says that she and Tiger were very close for about 13 months. After that, she was in the news again when she was caught drunk driving in California. But that's not all. She even said that Tiger was the father of her child. It said that they had an affair for 5 years. There are rumors that they were together before Tiger married Ellen. Following a low profile. In the middle of the trouble, it made sense for Ellen to keep some distance. For one thing, it was shocking and embarrassing for her. And everything that happened at the golf club made her very angry. Everyone was interested in what she was thinking during the whole thing. Did Tiger try to get her to change her mind? Even after what had happened, did she think about staying with him? How much did she get? A lot of fans were sad that the dream marriage ended, but some people couldn't help but wonder how much money Ellen would get from the split. Ellen wasn't just leaving one person, after all. The wealthy cheater she was getting divorced from. Their prenup made it clear that Ellen would get $20 million. That wasn't enough, though, after everything that had happened. There were different stories in the news about how much she would get. Ellen would get a huge $110 million in the end. This was only about a sixth of what her husband was worth altogether, but she got $20 million for every year she was with him. That's a pretty high price, even for a star. A hearing in private. The divorce proceeding was still closed to the press. The court told the press they couldn't come in. Ellen wanted to keep things quiet, so this was good. But Tiger Woods probably paid for the oath to keep quiet. Some people think that he asked everyone concerned to keep quiet. At least for a while, it worked. Only people who had a reason to be there were allowed to attend the meeting. They still wanted to know, though. Would Ellen have full control of the kids, or would Tiger? Ellen didn't refuse Tiger's request for joint custody in the end. Ellen finally tells her story. Once the news about the golf club episode came out, the media only wanted to make Ellen look like the bad guy. She had to go on screen to explain her story. After their big fight that night, Tiger left. Ellen heard a loud noise outside after a while. She saw that her husband had an accident. Ellen broke the glass of the car with the golf club to help Tiger. To clear things up, Ellen told her side of the story. She wasn't ready to return to her quiet life until she'd cleared her name. Even so, some of Tiger's biggest fans didn't believe her story. In the end, she didn't need to use golf clubs to save him from the accident. They thought the new story made a lot more sense. She still talks to Tiger. When the shocking news came out, Ellen said, "I'm so embarrassed that I never suspected." She went on to say, "It's hard to think you saved this life, and then all of a sudden, was it a lie?" But Ellen is mature enough to let the past go. She doesn't want their kids to suffer any longer, so she still talks to Tiger and is friendly when they meet. Ellen thinks Tiger is still a great father to their kids, but she made one important rule. Tiger can't let any of his girlfriends and his kids meet each other until he gets married to one of them. Tiger meets someone new. Some people think that Erica was given a bad deal because they don't know how well Tiger's kids will get along with his new girlfriend until they meet. But others think that Ellen did the right thing to keep her kids safe. If there's one thing that can be said about what happened, it's that Ellen may have known her ex-husband too well. A few months later, Tiger found love with stylist Kristen Smith. Photos of the two on a boat made headlines, but after a few months they were seen together again with Erica. It's becoming a habit to do this. Reports say that Tiger and Kristen broke up because he was seeing both her and Erica at the same time. Kristen thought that the legend was cheating on her, but Tiger, as usual, denied it and even said bad things about Erica. Either Kristen or Erica would have given up at this point. It turned out that Ellen wasn't the only one who knew they needed to change their lifestyle. The press was hot on Tiger's trail, but they soon found out that he had slept with at least 100 women while he was married. With no one to turn to, Tiger decided to check himself into a rehab center. He had to do it for his kids. Now he had to heal on his own. The start of a fresh life. It was the start of a new life for Ellen and her kids. She used the $100 million she got from the divorce to buy a brand new home for her family. It was an old mansion near the beach that she had completely rebuilt from scratch. As a practical woman, she gave away any useful items from the house. Ellen's new home cost her $12 million, which was easy to afford since she had the money from the divorce. It had 6 bedrooms, 9,000 square feet, a private beach, and an amazing 8 bathrooms. It was only a few miles from Tiger's home, which made it easy for Tiger to see their kids. But Ellen felt like something was missing, so she took action to fix it. What is it? Ellen called the charity Habitat for Humanity to get help with her old things. She thought it'd be a good way to get the most use out of things she didn't need anymore. She left the group to look around the house for things that could be auctioned off to help with their work. It was a kind thing for Ellen to do, and it also worked out well because Habitat for Humanity was able to get thousands of dollars for the things. They'll use the money to build more homes for people in need around the world. The house on the beach. Ellen owned more than one beach mansion. In 2011, she paid $1 million for a 2-bedroom townhouse in San Remo's Juno Beach. She then spent some of her own money to have it remodeled so she could sell it, which she did because the townhouse sold for $2.2 million in October 2011. New love and a new home. Some months after Ellen moved into her new home, she met her new neighbor, Chris Klein. Chris was a powerhouse in the coal mining industry, and reports say he was worth more than $1 billion. Based on how much they were worth, you could say they were a perfect match, but things didn't last. They had a few sweet months together, but Chris was busy. It was either love or business for him, and in the end, he chose business. People were quick to judge their relationship. For one thing, Chris was 53 years older than Ellen, so he seemed more like a sugar daddy than a real husband-to-be. But it didn't really matter how rich Chris was. Ellen was already wealthy, so she wasn't exactly a gold digger, as some have said. One more time. Later, the press took a picture of Ellen and Chris hiking in St. Moritz. They looked very much in love again. Just look at this picture of them in the snowy mountains. And they seem to be having a great time with each other. Both of them have kids from previous marriages. Chris has 2 daughters and 2 sons. And they didn't seem to mind that the press was making assumptions about their relationship. They were living in their own version of paradise and didn't care what other people thought. Not much is known about their relationship status, but that's normal. Ellen tries to stay out of the spotlight, unlike her ex-husband. However, everyone knows that Ellen and Chris live in the same Palm Beach home. Who plays music? Not much was known about Chris and Ellen's relationship, but it seemed that one also ended badly. Later, Ellen was caught with another famous person, Gavin Rossdale, the lead singer of the popular Brit band Bush. But Gavin was also Gwen Stefani's boyfriend, which means that he's also a cheater. Why would Ellen choose to follow the same path as her ex-husband? Would she have wanted Gwen to go through the same thing she did? Reports say that Gavin betrayed Gwen by having an affair with their nanny, which brings up another question. Would Ellen want to be in the same situation as her ex-wives? Maybe something terrible happened to her during those years that could never be fixed. No amount of money could ever bring it back. Seeing her first love again. It's unlikely that Ellen and Tiger will get back together after everything that happened, but she kept going back to one love after she moved to the U.S. Ellen had trouble with her studies before she left Sweden, but after she moved, she had all those scandals and the press was following her around. She was able to finish her child psychology course in 2014 and graduate. Ellen has had a lot of bad luck, but the good thing is she learned a lot and is now grateful for love and life. She still lives in the U.S. and is friends with Tiger, which is good for their kids. Who knows, maybe we'll see her put her degree to use one day. What they value. Ellen and Tiger have both been through a lot, but they were able to get through it and start over. They even made up with each other as friends, thanks to their son and daughter. When asked how they stay friends, Tiger made sure there was no misunderstandings. It becomes 2 simple things, okay? We have Sam and Charlie, and we love them so much that we're going to do whatever it takes to make that work. That's how it happened. On a recent episode of Stephen Colbert's show, Tiger was asked about how things were between him, Ellen, and their kids. He said they were best friends. For the rest of us, it might seem complicated, but who knows? They seem fine with it. Not talking to anyone. The press will always be interested in Ellen. There's not much she can do about it. That's what happens when you were married to a famous golf legend and went through a public divorce. But Ellen didn't pay attention to the press or their rumors. She wants to stay out of the spotlight and focus on her kids and giving them the best she can. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon